Oh, chicka wow wow. What's up, party people? Welcome to another episode of Elevate Your Life. I am your hostess with the most S. L is in the letter L, and key as in the key to your heart. Well, we are on Monday, February 9th, the Monday after the Super Bowl. So I would love to ask, what are everyone's thoughts on the Super Bowl that occurred yesterday? Were you pleasantly surprised by the winning team? Did you place any bets, vote on any football squares, that sort of thing? Personally, I generally like to root for the underdogs, and yesterday was no different. I know, according to everyone at school today, the consensus was that it was the most uneventful Super Bowl in a while, unfortunately. But what did you all think of the halftime show? There were mixed reviews about Bad Bunny. Some people are not familiar with him or his background or his music or his talents, especially because, you know, a lot of his songs, I mean, the majority of his songs, maybe even all of his songs are in Spanish. So, unless you have an appreciation for Latin music and or Latin flair and or know or speak and understand Spanish, you may have not been inclined to watch it or enjoy it. As for me and my husband and the people I know, friends and family, we love Bad Bunny. We love the fact that he represents Puerto Rico, that he gives back to the community, that he has a heart of gold. And we love his music and his dancing and find him very entertaining. My daughter actually saw him in Florida at a concert a couple years ago, I believe. Maybe 2, 3, something like that, 2 or 3 years ago. Anyway, did any of you win on placing your bets on the football squares or, just placing bets as people do during football season? I know a lot of us, because they weren't local teams, may not have had a vested interest. But as I said, would love to hear what all of you have to say about the game. On that note, moving right along, um, so first of all, I want to remind you to please be sure when you comment, share your thoughts on my questions. There's a reason that I ask the questions and take polls on these things, because I am genuinely interested in what you have to say and what your thoughts are and opinions are about the halftime show, the commercials. What was your favorite commercial? There were a lot of great ones. The polar bears, um, just to name one. Um, let's see. I think that's all I wanted to touch on as far as the football goes. And bear with me, Chanel is over here trying to climb on my lap, even though my computer is on my lap. She is still trying to get a piece of her mommy couch, as I like to call it. When mommy gets home, she wants to lay on her lap. For those of you that know, I have a dog, Chanel. She's 13, Shih Tzu Pekingese pug, 12 pounds, and has become very needy in her elder years because she has Cushing's disease. And for those of you that don't know about dogs or that it affects the adrenal system. And so she becomes very anxious, um, and just, needs comfort and reassurance. And so that's why I joke with you about her wanting to climb on her mommy couch. Um, but it's not really a joke. Anyone that knows me and knows Chanel and knows our history, she lives for sitting on my lap and cuddling with me. And for those of you that are dog lovers and know about dogs, the Shih Tzu breed, they were known to be owned by kings and queens, emperors, things like that, because they are loyal lap dogs, as they would refer to them. Oh, you heard me, Chanel? You heard me talking about you? She literally looked at me when I made that statement. That's kind of funny. Anyway, so let's get into it. So be sure to let me know what your thoughts are. Like, do you have any Super Bowl traditions? Do you watch with family? Do you go with friends? Do you go to someone's house? Maybe you're the host or the hostess that has people over. We definitely had plans to host if it was going to be our favorite teams. And personally, I grew up watching the Oakland Raiders. So no matter where they are, to me, they will always be the Oakland Raiders. And, well, he's from Chicago. So he is a Chicago Bears fan. But unfortunately, neither of our teams were in it. So hence not having a vested interest in the game. But all the same, I did enjoy watching some of it with him and partaking in the halftime show together, dancing to Bad Bunny entertainment, and enjoying some of the entertaining comedic commercials. So, moving right along, because it is Mindful Monday, something came to mind to me today, and that was, and this may be more geared or centered around local Bay Area people, but maybe it will apply to you. I'm just wondering, how are you adapting to the ever changing weather that we have been experiencing, namely in Northern California? It's gone from blazing hot one day to freezing cold the next day to earthquakes the next day to rainy the next day. And I know a lot of us, myself included, can be very much impacted by the weather. So I'm quite curious to know, how do all of you feel about this constant weather change? What are your thoughts on the reoccurring earthquakes, if you experience them, if you're in an area where you experience them? Because I'm reading a lot of points of view about, oh, the good thing about the constant earthquakes is that it is loosening the earth so that we won't be as severely as impacted if there's a larger one, or it will kind of help us, right? But then there are the others that say quite the contrary, that, oh no, all these little ones are leading up to the much larger one that's coming our way. So again, just curious to hear your thoughts and opinions about it, if you have any, if you are affected by these ever changing. I mean, literally today it was a beautiful day in the Bay Area in Northern California. It was sunny, it was warm, and by sixth period PE for me, it got cold and breezy and cloudy, and you could see that the rain is coming in. And I'm just like, how does anyone prepare for our weather that's on crack? Um, and I say that in jest, but my friends and I often make those types of remarks that we feel like we're never prepared for what's going to happen next, even though we do follow the weather channel and watch the weather on the news. Even then, it's still quite unpredictable. So again, I'm very interested to hear your thoughts. How do you prepare for it? Do you have an emergency earthquake plan in place? And if you do, please feel free to share what that earthquake plan looks like, because I'll be quite honest with you, I have started to put the plan together, but I have not completed it. And my husband and I have these conversations of like, okay, if it hits during the night, just run to this hill and grab Chanel and run to this hill and I'll meet you there. I'm like, what about our important documents or, an emergency earthquake kit? So I'd be very interested to know. That will be my second poll. Do you have an emergency earthquake plan in place? And if you do, what does it look like? Do you have necessary important documents, food, water, blankets, generator, um, pets, pet food, phone charger, etc., etc.? Anyway, inquiring minds want to know. Well, I want to make sure that I give a shout out to my loyal listeners and subscribers, even though you all don't comment. Dory, Tina, Jacques. I do appreciate the loyal listeners out there that take the time to listen and share their feedback, insight, commentary, what have you. So, thank you to all of my loyal listeners. I want to make sure I give a special shout out to my subscribers as well. Loyal listeners, by the way, Miss Samina, Mr. J, Dory, Tina, Jacques, Danae, Travis. I don't know if there's anyone else out there that I might be forgetting that maybe listens and hasn't shared with me that they listen but don't comment. But I do want to make sure I give a shout out to my loyal subscribers. Lisa Roberts Curbello, how are you? How's business? How is your social life? How are you, the family, the kids, the boyfriend, etc.? It's been way too long. Thank you for being a loyal subscriber. I appreciate you. Crafty with a K, Kara, Crafty Kara, lovemyartist.etsy.com, but you can also find her linked tree link in my podcast information, usually in the detailed description of what the podcast is about and the content. You will find her link. And she has incredible art, cooking videos, how-to videos, uh, video and music montages, dedications to various different people for birthday, anniversary, proposal, um, dedication, celebration of life, you name it, she does it. But she also is an amazing cook, dog groomer, crafty, makes wedding favors out of sand dollars. She paints, she draws, and she also has various different clothing items and shoes and things of that nature. So, shout out to my loyal subscriber and friend, Kara, Crafty Kara of lovemyartist.etsy.com or Linktree, Love My Artist. Moving right along to Jeff Para. Jeff Para, namaste. I see that you are enjoying your retire life, traveling with your newfound love, girlfriend. I'm happy that you found someone that you enjoy traveling together with. Roger, shout out to Roger Haven. I do hope that you are doing better and that your body is healing from your recent injury that we've talked about. I know it hasn't exactly been gardening weather, but I still see your posts, and good on you to stay with your physical activity to help you stay strong and alert. Mike Kaufman, shout out to Mike Kaufman. Thank you for being a loyal listener and loyal subscriber. I appreciate you. And shout out to Angie Germer of Thrive Lavelle. If you are looking for all natural supplements to fill the nutritional gaps to help you lose weight, gain weight, have more energy, maintain a healthy lifestyle, Angie through Thrive Lavelle can help you. You can also find her link in my podcast information. And last but not least, Kyle Few. Kyle, who is an author of Commitment to Love. Love is a Verb. It can be found on Audible via Amazon. If you haven't seen it or looked for it, look for it. It provides you all of the possible tools on commitment to love, and that love is a verb, and that can be love of a partner, family member, friend, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, you name it. It can be applied. Well, I think that covers everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Remember to just hit that little like button, the thumbs up button, especially if you're listening on YouTube. Remember to like, share, comment, because that is what keeps the algorithm going. I am building my YouTube channel, so I encourage you and invite you to come on there and be sure to do those things on YouTube, but I can be found on all of the common platforms. It's just the other ones don't necessarily indicate how many listeners or subscribers or allow you to put commentary. Shout out to Rhonda as well. Thank you for being a loyal listener, Rhonda. I appreciate you. And in return, a shout out to Rhonda under the Gypsy Moon Jewelry. Okay, well, I think that's it for this evening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And I will look forward to your feedback on my questions. What did you think of the Super Bowl? Did you participate in any football squares? Did you win? Did you lose? Did you break even? What did you think of the halftime show? And how are you adapting to this crazy weather? And do you have an emergency earthquake kit? All burning questions that I'm dying to know. So remember, Like, comment, share, and or subscribe. Ciao for now.